Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the big match build-up show. Today, West Ham take on Chelsea at the London Stadium. 5:30 kickoff live on Sky Sports. Scott, I'm not going to lie, mate. I am nervous today, but the team news is out. Scott, take us through the team news, mate.
So it's not many changes, but Fabianski in goal, Balbuena coming in for the suspended Dawson, Diop and Ogbonna as a free centre halves. Can't work out whether he's going to play Fredericks left wing, Kufal right wing, and then what is it? The middle, Noble, Souček with Lingard and Bowen. I don't think I've left anyone out, have I?
Nah, I think you find that. I think Fredericks is going to set up on the left today.
Yeah,
Soufal on the right, Noble and Souček in the middle, and Fornals and Lingard and Bowen the forward three. I would like to. We spoke about it last night on Friday night playing. I would like to have seen Ben Rama start today, but he hasn't got the nod. Unfortunately, he's on the bench. Lanzini's on the bench. Yarmolenko's on the bench. So there's a lot of players on there that we can bring on if we're looking to change the game a bit. But Scott, I don't often lie to you, mate, and I'm not going to start tonight. I am nervous. Honestly, because today's result was. Listen, Newcastle last week done my head in. Today, I'd kiss every Geordie going with that last-minute equaliser.
that's it. They've done us a big favour, haven't they?
Massive. And you know what? David Moyes doesn't even have to do team talk today. Just show them the results.
Yeah.
Just say, go on, go and get yourself in that top four, boys. It's massive. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm excited. It's like Christmas Eve.
But that's the thing, though. It's that nervous excitement, isn't it? Because you dare to dream. And these are the games where we need to turn up, where we need to put a shift in. We need to make sure we get a result. We've got two of our best players still missing. And that's what makes it more nervous. You'd be nervous anyway if Antonio and Rice were there, but you're more nervous now because we've got to do it without them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big game. The back three today: Diop, Balbuena, and the Ogfather, Ogbonna. Get out of the way, Mike. I'm talking about that. I ain't got some bloke called Mike stuck in here with me. Looking forward to seeing them three at the back today. Last week, Ogbonna's first game back, Diop looked a bit shaky at Newcastle. Let's hope that Diop's confidence ain't been dampened by what happened last week up at Newcastle.
Yeah, I don't think he would have done. He would have been busting to get back playing. He's having a fantastic season overall. So hopefully now he stabilises Diop a bit more. We got caught out by individual errors last week, and we need to curb that. We can't afford any more individual errors. We had Fabianski, you had Diop, you had Dawson, Johnson, and that's over the past two games. Individual errors, which then led to goals. So it's worrying in the sense that that's happened, and you've got the players. Their confidence will be a bit rocked by that, but you've got to take heart in the way we fought back after being 2-0 down to Newcastle last week. It's. I know this is Chelsea. This is different kettle of fish, and our sort of record over teams that are above us or in and around us isn't the greatest. So look, we're at home. It's a London derby, really tough one to call, but we've got the advantage in this one, and hopefully we can go on and get the result.
I'm just, hello to everyone in the chat, by the way, and watching on Facebook and YouTube and Periscope. Thank you for joining us. I'm looking at the comments. There's a lot of people in there and the same as us, bit nervous. Couple of people. We'll get the score predictions later, but there's a few people going for Chelsea today. People not fancying us. Maybe the performance in the first half last week might be in the people's head. But do you know what? Think about the performance in the second half. We can do this today. As you said, it's a London derby. They're going to be up for it.
I was less confident last week than I am this week. Because as I said, with our record at Newcastle and the performance we had at the start of the season against Newcastle, I was very, very, very nervous about this one. I'm nervous about that one. I'm nervous about this one. But our performance when we lost to him, we lost 3-1. It wasn't a 3-1 game.
3-0.
3-0, sorry. Yeah, it wasn't a 3-0 game.
We should have scored.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just one of them. they're going to have that Champions League game on their mind that they've got in a week as well. You know, they're going to be thinking about that.
I mean, yeah, Chelsea have got some massive few weeks coming up. Obviously, the Cup final, they've got the Champions League, they've got some tough games in the Premier League. So 3 points a day is massive, especially after the result earlier. I mean, I see Liverpool and, you know, I thought to myself, oh, and that pushed us out, you know, that put them above us. But do you know what? A win today, imagine the confidence going. And next week, we've got Burnley at home. The confidence going into these games, but we've got to get these 3 points today. You know, a win, it's a win, or I think even if we draw today, okay, it's not the worst result in the world, but if we lose, I think that's it for top 4 hopes. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, mate. I think win, we're in the driving seat. Lose, I don't think we'll get back in the top 4. A draw, you know, you're still in with a shout, and with our fixtures coming up, when you look at it on paper, it's only Everton after today that are a side that are still pushing. You know, it looks like Burnley, Southampton are going to be sort of safe, so they're not got nothing to play for. West Brom's the other tricky fixture as well. You know, they can be a bit of a bogey side of ours, but no, look, you're always confident against Chelsea. You have to be. You know, before it used to be if Hazard was turned up and put on a show, Chelsea would win. If he didn't, we'd nick a result. And, you know, it's not win or die, but win puts us, you know, 1 foot there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at the Chelsea team. I'll bring it up on the screen here. Very strong team. Few changes in there for Chelsea today. Mendy in goal, Rudiger, Silva, Christensen at the back, Azpilicueta on the right, Chilwell on the left, Kante and Jorginho in midfield, and then a forward 3 of Mount, Pulisic and Werner, which is a very strong Chelsea team. We're sort of getting into the Chelsea team in a minute because we'll bring up who we think is going to be their 3 sort of key players today. But yeah, a lot of changes there. What do you make of that, Scott?
To be honest, mate, I think the player we can get at there is Azpilicueta. You know, if we've got Fredericks on the left, who's, if he is starting on the left, got a lot of pace. You've got Lingard, you've got Bowen, again, a lot of pace. If somebody can get one-on-one with Azpilicueta, you're going to fancy him all day long down that left-hand side. You know, he's a quality player, but he hasn't got the legs anymore. And with the movement of Bowen and Lingard, them 3 centre-backs are going to have their hands full. So they're not going to be able to cover him. So that could be an outlet for us getting down that our left-hand side, getting the ball in behind him. And you know, as I said, he ain't going to be able to keep pace with Fredericks, or if Lingard floats over there and Fornals drifts into the middle. You know, that's what I'll be looking to get to him down that side.
Yeah, a few changes from the other night that they drew to Brighton. Kante brought back into midfield. Jorginho as well in there. It's going to be a good battle in the midfield area today. Very key, and obviously Chilwell, he'll be up and down that flank all day. So Soufal, you know, if there's one player on that pitch that I'd pick to mark Chilwell all game, it'd be Soufal, because he won't let him out of his pocket.
Yeah. For me, the toughest thing we've got to deal with is the movement of Mount and Pulisic. You know, Chilwell getting forward, it's just another wing back getting forward. Mount and Pulisic, especially Pulisic. For me, Pulisic is by far Chelsea's best player. You know, when I watched Chelsea in the cup final last season, before he picked up his injury, he was tearing Arsenal to pieces. And I've spoken to the guys in work who support Chelsea, and they rave about Pulisic. So yeah, he's the one really I feel that we've really got to watch. But Mount as well. We've seen what a class act Mount can be for England. Kante is a workhorse. You know, Jorginho, I think on him the jury's still out for me. I don't think he's that great, but I try not to slate players too much because they normally end up having a worldie against us.
Right. let's get the Chelsea team off the screen for a moment. Scott, as you know, on this show, we like to give the referee and the officials a mention. So Chris Kavanagh's taking charge today. The assistant referees is Adam Nunn and Sean Massey Ellis. The 4th official is Mike. The 4th official is Mike Dean. You know what he's like. He wants the attention. He'll probably start doing cartwheels on the pitch or something. VAR is Peter Banks, and his assistant is Andrew Halliday. Stat for you, Scott. Chris Kavanagh takes charge of his fixtures for the second time in the 2021 season. Also, he was the ref for the 3-0 defeat at the Bridge earlier in the season. Not a good omen, that.
No,
not a good omen.
Not a good omen, mate. That's
rare, though, isn't it? The referee does both the home and away game.
Mm.
Can't remember that.
No,
probably has, but you just don't take no notice. We've never brought stats up before, so we probably never know. It's the build-up show, Scott. This is what we do.
It's all a learning curve, mate. It's all a learning curve.
This is what we do. But right, before we sort of get into how West Ham are going to win this game, where this game's going to be won and lost, and then we'll go into the chat and get the predictions, and then we'll have our final thoughts, and then we'll hand you over to Nicky and Dan in the watch-along. Scott, I've got 3 players that I've picked out today. Well, I actually asked my mate in work who's a big Chelsea fan. I said, give me 3 key players for my build-up show on Saturday. And he said, okay, Ryan, there you go. I'll pass them over to Nicky. Nicky done the graphics, and then bang, they'll be up on the screen. So the first player, Scott, is England international Ben Chilwell. 22 games this season, 8 clean sheets, 33 tackles, 2 goals, and 4 assists. Scott, as we said, he is a threat, and he will be a threat throughout this game. Great player. I really rate Ben Chilwell. Yeah,
same, mate. He's probably the best English left back in the country at the minute, and like I said, he'll continue to keep driving forward, and he'll cause us so many problems down that left side. He'll overlap the runners. You've just got to look. You sort of got to feel, because we've got Soufal out there, and you think he's the best person to be dealing with him bursting forward, but the movement of the others as well. We've got to be careful. Chilwell can put a decent ball in, and we've seen before he can crack in a decent shot as well.
Yeah, and as I said, mate, he's going to be up and down that flank all game. As I said, he was a big money signing from Leicester. I really do rate him. I think him and Luke Shaw are up there for the best left backs, battling out for that England spot in the Euros. So yeah, he's going to be a tough one to handle today. The next one is Declan Rice's best mate, Mason Mount. 31 games this season, 6 goals, 2 of his left foot, 4 of his right, 4 assists, and 9 key passes. Look, how we rate Declan Rice, I'm sure Chelsea fans rate Mason Mount just as much. What a good player he is for club and country. Frank Lampard brought him into the setup. He give him a chance at Chelsea, and he's taken it, and he's now a full England international, one of the first names on the team sheet. He's going to be 4 hours for me. Is a similar sort of player to what Mount's going to be for Chelsea today, and our back 3 today are going to have their work cut out with that forward 3 of Chelsea today, and Mount is going to be key to anything that happens for Chelsea today.
Yeah, that's it, mate. As much as we see with as we said with Fornals and Lingard, the movement that they have in a game, you've got Mount, and Mount's got that movement. He's comfortable anywhere in that front line. When you watch him play, he's always wanting the ball, always driving forward. He's such an exciting young player. It's for England, it's fantastic to have players like him in and around the box. He can hit a shot, but he always wants to get involved. And it's going to be a tough ask for our back 3 tonight. It really is.
Yeah, the thing is, he likes to drop off, doesn't he, and receive that ball, and he just looks he makes room for himself, and he's just a great player. And sometimes you just got to admire the opposition. And he is a really top talent. And as I said, it's going to be difficult for us to deal with him today. But the last player I've got now, I'm just going to double check before I put this on, because I'm sure he's actually on the bench today. He's actually on the bench, so we'll let this one slide. It's Kai Havertz, 24 games, 2 goals, 2 of his left foot, none with his right, 3 assists, and 4 key passes. Now, when I asked my mate for your key players, Pulisic, as you said, Scott, would have probably been up there. But I think at the time, he might have thought he was injured. So he's gone with Kai Havertz. Look, I'll be honest. I don't really know too much about him, if I'm honest. I know he hasn't had the greatest of seasons, so I think my mate might have been setting me up with that one. But look, Pulisic, Mount, and Werner, they're them three against our back five. It will slip into a back five when Chelsea have the ball. So this has got the makings for a great game today. Now that might come back to bite me on the arse there, but it's got the makings. So you've got two teams there that I think are going to want to get the ball down, play football. I think the difference with this week is that Chelsea are going to have more possession than what we have. I think last week at Newcastle, we had too much possession and sometimes we didn't know what to do with the ball. This week, we're going to go back to what we're good at, letting teams have the ball, and then we hopefully hit them on the break. And that's where we get our goal, and that's where we win these games. Yeah,
we'll be more direct, and that's what we need to be with their back line. We've got to look at a way to get them, and catching them on the break is going to be key. We've got a lot of pace.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there.
Hang on. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. Nicky's mucking about with something there.
But yeah, with Havertz, this is always the worry when you've got a player that's not in form or not firing. We've said it so many times. We're the team you want to play against. So coming off the bench for him, he will be a threat. But it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be an interesting game. And that's the thing. When you've got sides like Chelsea, you could pick. Normally you're looking at sides, you're picking 2 or 3 players. Chelsea, you could pick 4 or 5 players that can cause you problems. We've just got to focus on keeping them out, and like you said, catching them on the break, driving forward when we get the opportunity, and we've got to be very useful when we are on the ball. We can't be wasteful. We can't be just humping it long, looking as if Antonio's there to charge down defenders and hold it up. That's something we can't afford to do. We've got to be precise in our passing, especially moving forward.
I mean, it's the race for the top 4 today. It's a massive game. Leicester are sitting 3rd on 59. Then you've got Chelsea in 4th on 55. West Ham in 5th on 55. Liverpool in 6th on 54. Tottenham in 7th on 53. And then Everton, who had a massive win last night, sitting there in 8th on 52. So it's so tight at the top. And every win now is so important. Even draws at this stage of the season ain't good enough. It's all about 3 points, and it's so tight, Scott. It's exciting. It's exciting to be at the right end of the table for once, instead of sitting here like we was last year going, oh, we need points to stay up. Now we're talking about we need 3 points to get into the top 4.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's exactly it. And that's the other thing as well. We've been in a situation where we're desperate for points to stay up. So maybe that little bit of a turnaround that we're now driving for points to stay in that top 4. As much as when you listen to the pros talk about, the winning mentality and things like that, where you've got players who have won trophies and all that, they've got that winning mentality. But so have we this season. Do you know what I mean? We've got that do or die attitude from when Moyes come in, that we don't know when we're beat, and we keep driving and keep pushing forward. And you saw that last week. And
What was that famous phrase Ian Dowie said? We've got bounce back ability.
That's it. And that's what we need to see today. We need to see that, we need to see what we saw in the second half last week. That desire to get back in the game, playing with 10 men for the length of time we did. As we've said before, last season's West Ham in them situations crumble. This season's West Ham don't. They fight. They dig deep. They pull for each other. That's what we need to see today. Desire, drive, and togetherness. And, a little bit of luck as well always goes well in that mix.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, Scott, as we do on the build-up show, it's that time where I'm going to get my stats out. So let's have a look. Let's get a few of the stats up. So this is the 100th top flight meeting. West Ham are vying to win successive home league games against Chelsea for the first time in 18 years. We ain't got a great record against Chelsea, have we?
Well, you say that only of new Chelsea.
Yeah. Oh,
Old
don't
Chelsea,
that.
we had a great, we had
A
a great
whole
one.
other show, that is. West Ham have equalled the club Premier League record of 16 victories in a season and need 8 points to surpass their highest Premier League points total set in 2016, which was obviously the last season at the Bowling under Slaven Bilic. The Hammers have the division's second best home record this season with 31 points. They need one home win to reach 10 in the top flight for the first time since 2001-2002. West Ham's only victory in 11 league fixtures this season against the established top six came at home to Tottenham in February, was drawn 3 and lost 7. So that's a stat that we need to change today, Scott.
Yeah, massively.
West Ham can become the first club to score and concede multiple goals in 5 successive Premier League matches since they did so 5 years ago. Oh, fucking! I would take a scrappy 1-0 win now. I don't think I can handle a 3-2 again. It don't do your heart rate any good, does it?
No, exactly. That's the thing. It adds so much stress to your life, doesn't it?
Jesse Lingard could equal Diafra Sakho's West Ham record of scoring in 6 successive Premier League appearances. Sakho did so in September and October 2014. We'll talk a little about Lingard in a minute, how important he's going to be. But what we could do to have a Diafra Sakho up top for today. Lingard has been involved in 12 Premier League goals in his first 10 appearances for West Ham, scoring 9 and setting up 3. Let's get some Chelsea stats up. Thomas Tuchel could become the first Chelsea manager to go unbeaten in his first 10 competitive away games in charge, winning 7 and drawing 2. Chelsea have kept a clean sheet in 15 of their 20 matches in all competitions under Tuchel. I don't know why I bring these stats up. Chelsea can equal the club top flight record of 4 London Derby away wins in a season. And the last one, the only player to score more than 3 competitive goals for Chelsea under Tuchel is Mason Mount with 5. And that was one of the key players that we picked out a little while ago. But yeah, Scott, let's get into this then, mate. What I'll do is we're gonna what's time now? Coming up to 5 o'clock. We've got another 20 minutes. What we do, we'll sit back now, we'll go through, we're gonna try to work out how Moyes and his boys are gonna beat the Blues of Chelsea. And then what we do, we'll go into the live chat, get your predictions, get your thoughts, get your comments, and then we'll all go and watch the game on the telly, and hopefully we'll win. So, Scott, how are we winning this today, mate? Who's going to be our key player today?
It's going to be Lingard, isn't it? He's not turning us into a one-man team, but he's so important for us now. Where we were relying on Antonio and Souček for the goals. Lingard's just took that to another level. You see the amount of goals he's been involved in since his debut. He's the key for us. He's the key to. He's got to get forward, but the balls to him have got to be right. He seems to be linking up well with Bowen. Fornals is one of them players that will link up with anyone he can get near. Fornals' his work rate, he's going to be key as well. We need Nobes to have a good game in that midfield to try and stop players like Mount getting the time and space that they want. And we sort of need to free up Souček a bit as well. It's you've seen with Souček, he's not been that threat for me. I didn't see any of the Newcastle game, but since we've lost Rice, he's not been the same player.
And you can sort of understand that because it obviously with Mark Noble being in midfield with him, he hasn't got he knows he's got to do a little bit of extra work for Mark Noble in there. So he can't express himself and get forward as much as he does when Declan Rice is in the team. But, Souček's still playing all right. I've seen him play better, and I hope that he has a worldie today, against Chelsea. But for me, the key man for me today, I'm going to go for Bowen. I really think, because he's been in a bit of good form lately. I just think today I can see him getting on the score sheet. He's playing with confidence at the moment. Him and Lingard seem to have a good understanding, and Fornals as well. So if we can get that little triangle working, we can get the little 1-2s, and Thomas Souček and Soufal as well can get up to support them, because Soufal, he works up and down that wing. So if we can just get Fornals on the ball a bit more, and I want to see Lingard on the ball a bit more. He's a bit quiet last week, especially in the first half. He had a good second half. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle in there today. But I just think Bowen, for me, I'm hoping that he's going to have a good game.
We need players to step up. We need players to grab this game and all the last games and step up and be that player, be the player that drives us through and leads us to that top four. And it's squeaky bum time in a sense with this game, but. But the other thing as well, you've still got you've got 3 players attacking wise on that bench who can cause teams problems, even though they're not in the best form. All right, Ben Rahman, you could say, he's been in decent-ish form when he's got a run in the side, but you've got 3 players on that bench as well that Chelsea would be wary of. We've seen with Yarmolenko before. I know he's only just recovering back from injury, but we've seen what he can do against Chelsea before, and he is more of a super sub now than a starter. Lanzini as well. We've got players on the bench that can hurt them. Sorry, and that's what
don't hurt us. Hurt them.
That's what you need. But it's just we need 11 players to have big games today. And
one player that we need to have a big game today. Obviously. Last week, he was at fault for, is Fabianski. And look, Fabianski's been a great servant for West Ham, and I think he's one of the best goalkeepers we've had for a very long time. But last week, he has made mistakes, but goalkeepers do. If a goalkeeper makes a mistake, 9 times out of 10, it ends up in the back of the net. But Fabianski's been around long enough. He knows he's got to dust himself off, dust them gloves off, and just get back in between the sticks and, look, have a good game today. He's got 3 decent defenders in front of him today: Ogbonna, Balbuena, and Diop. I'm actually quite pleased that Balbuena's come into the back 3 today, because I just think that when he's come in this season, he's done well for us. So I'm looking forward to seeing. Obviously, Dawson's a big miss. Dawson's been playing well, but it's his own fault that he's sitting in the stands today with them 2 stupid yellow cards last week. But look, I think Diop. Obviously, Diop always looks a lot more confident when he plays next to Balbuena as well. So let's hope that Diop has a good game today as well. It's massive top 4 clash going into these final few games of the season. Yeah,
exactly, mate. And that's it. Balbuena, I think, had a run out for the under-23s the other night as well. So he's had a bit of football behind him, which is what he probably needed and what we needed going into this one. And like you said, Diop does look a little more comfortable with Balbuena there alongside him. Maybe it's the understanding they got playing together last season. But Dawson's a big blow. But like you said, it's his own fault. Silly. And this takes you back to the individual errors. As much as his really didn't lead to the goal, him getting sent off caused the problems that we had. Put in other people under pressure, and so long as we cut them out, we should be fine. As I said, not overconfident, still confident, but very, very nervous with this one. Very, very nervous.
Yeah, I mean, if we have to look to the bench, I mean, Yarmolenko, Ben Rahman, Lanzini's on there, Ben Johnson as well.
The two goalkeepers again, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, last season we all remember that great win at home when Yarmolenko come off the bench and scored the winner. So something like that again today. Please. It's but let's get into the chat. Hello, everyone in the chat. By the way, let's get some of your comments. Let's have a look. So start giving us your thoughts, and I'll bring them up on the screen. Peter Singer saying every dog has his day. Every dog has its day, and today is ours. Come on, you Ryan. Dawson's been pants for a few weeks, lads. Yeah, I agree. I think he has been a bit shaky the last few weeks. And last week there was no excuses for him. I can't make an excuse for him last week. It was poor from him.
honestly put that down to playing alongside Diop. I think he has to concentrate more on Diop's game and then forgets about his own game.
Yeah. Miss Hammerette, Dawson made some errors, to be honest, last few games, in my opinion. Nice to see the general back. Yeah, as I said, I'm quite pleased to see him back. Kevin saying Tom's brother has just told me that Lingard is going Villa for Grealish. I can't see that happening. No. Robert saying, come on, my beautiful Irons. Come on, you Irons. John McCarthy saying, top London teams head-to-head, East versus West. It don't get much bigger. I agree. It's a massive London derby today. And even though you're going for the top 4, you got to remember it is a London derby as well. So it's a shame that there's not crowds there today, but I think these players will definitely be up for it. Definitely be up for it.
Do you know what? Right, our Dan's been nervous-wise in the last few weeks. I don't think I could stand standing behind him in the ground this week. For this one, if we were there, mate, he'd do my head in. He'd be so nervy, so nervy going into this one.
Dan Powers is saying today's match is going to feel like an old Undertaker match at WrestleMania. Nerve-wracking for sure. Also, in my opinion, it's West Ham's biggest match since their last at the Bowl-In, plus America is watching on NBC. Hello, America. Come on, you fucking Irons. Hashtag Cockney boys. The biggest match since we left the Bowl-In ground, Scott. Do you agree with that?
Probably is, to be honest.
Yeah, I suppose when you look at it, it is, because you remember that season, we was going for top 4 as well. So it's a massive, massive game today.
This is probably the biggest game of Moyes' West Ham career.
Yeah, and he's got a good home record against Chelsea as a West Ham manager. He's played 2-1 through. You remember the first one, the 1-0 when Marko Arnautovic scored?
Yep.
And then the 3-2 last season when Yarmolenko come off the bench and scored the winner. But Paul Smith saying the London Stadium would have been rocking. Late kickoff, all day drinking. Oh, well, come on, Ryan. Listen, them days will be back next season. Don't worry about that. Well, I can't wait for them. Can't wait for us to be walking to that London Stadium after having a few pints in Stratford and getting behind the boys. Let's have a look. Dylan's donated $5. Thank you so much, Dylan. You didn't have to do that, mate. Give us another come on, you Irons. Fire up, boys. Come on, you Irons. Come on, Scott. Say it. Come on, you Irons. Come on, you Irons. We're going to do that. We're going to win. Fact and fiction. Listening to some Cockney rejects right now, giving me inspiration. Come on, you Irons. We can win this. Yeah. A bit of Cockney rejects before West Ham, eh? I bet that proper gets you in the mood for a game.
That's it, mate. That's it. Yeah. Look, I'm looking forward to this. I'm expecting this to be a good one.
I am buzzing for it. To be fair, I think when I do these build-up shows, I get a bit more relaxed. I'm nervous now. Come on, and then we sort of convince ourselves that we're going to win. And can I just say, Scott, you went away last week. Yeah. Graham come in and we lost. So hoping you are the lucky charm that in the first 2 shows we've done together, we won both 3-2. So let's hope that
let's hope so, mate.
If not, I'm sacking you. I'm only joking, mate.
That's the thing. It's just. What do you think? Do you think we need an early goal? Do you reckon if we need an early goal, that'll help?
I think we need to try to take control of the game in early, because sometimes we're a bit slow starting, like the first 10, 15 minutes. It might be interesting today. I don't want it to happen, but it might be interesting today to see what happens if we go 1-0 down, how we react. But let's hope we don't. As I said, Scott, I'll take a scrappy 1-0 win. I'll take 89 minutes of us booting it in the stands and then nick one at the end. It gets to this stage of the season, Scott, with what's on offer. Performances don't really matter.
No, it's results.
It don't matter, it's results. And I said, listen, a point, as I said, ain't the end of the world, but 3 points would be massive today. Yeah. Because when you look at the games we've got coming up, Everton are the only team that we play that are battling us up there. So it's a massive game. Every game's massive now at this stage of the season, but
yeah, that's it. That's what we're looking at when you look at the other games. If we can get out of this one without a defeat, and you look at what the other. By the time we play the other teams, they could all have nothing to play for, barring Everton. So that just puts all the emphasis on that. Some of the players, when you're playing teams like Southampton, they could be sort of in holiday mode. If you've got international players, they're looking towards the Euros. That's why a win today would ease a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Joshua's saying, got a feeling we will win today. 3-1 West Ham. Come on, you Irons. I would take a point, though. Sky have just been noshing off Chelsea for 10 minutes. Well, there's no surprise there, is there? That's why you watch these sort of shows where we just talk about West Ham and we give Chelsea a little mention.
The difference is, mate, is when we talk about Chelsea, we talk about in a respectful manner of how they are a decent football inside.
Yeah,
we're not going to go blow bubbles up their backside, but we know when a team's good and when a team's not. And I
mean, Luke Bennett saying we need to start the game brightly. I won't mind 0-0 at half time, but we can't be too defensive. Yeah, I agree, mate. It's we have to get our foot on the ball and not make early mistakes. But Scott, Chelsea, just before we get into our predictions and get everyone's predictions, where's their weak link today? I'm looking at their team now and I'm looking at their back three and I'm thinking our forward three can get at them.
Yeah, definitely. As I said earlier on, for me, it's Aspilicueta. For me, he's the weaker link. I said I'm hoping I don't jinx him and he has a worldie, but his pace, if we can get in behind him, we will cause them a lot of problems. Yeah. But
Richard's saying sorry, Scott. Richard's saying Ryan Fredericks is going to turn it on today. He's going to play like Figo.
I hope so, mate. I hope he does. I hope he has a worldie.
You look at Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Christensen at the back, and as you said, Aspilicueta. We can definitely get at that back three today, and it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be what defense crumbles first and what forward three want it more.
Yeah, that's it. And when you look at Silva's a world class defender. He's aging a bit, but your body gets old, but your mind don't when you've got that much quality. And we've got to play to his weaknesses. We've got to get him, try and get one-on-one with him, outpace him if we can with Lingard or Bowen. This is where the counter-attack is going to be so key. Like we said with Chilwell likes to bomb forward. That then leaves that gap in behind. And we know with Bowen and Lingard, they'll make runs into that gap. They'll try and pull that back three of Chelsea. They'll try and pull them wider if they get the opportunity, so we can have an overload on the counter down the left or down the right. And as I said, for me, you've got to look at that overload on that right-hand side, on our left-hand side. Overload down that side, get forward as best we can. It's a bit gutting, really. We haven't got Masuaku and Creswell playing today because I think they would be the massive key getting down that right-hand side of Chelsea.
I agree, mate. Ian Stephen makes a good point here. Moyes always takes a cowardly approach to the big clubs. Hope not. As we put that stat up earlier, it's only Tottenham really that we've beat this season, who's a recognised top six team. Looking at that team, I think Moyes is looking to go for it today, if I'm honest. Putting Fredericks on now, using Fredericks' pace, looking to get forward a bit. Yeah. I think Moyes looks like he's going to go for it today. He has to. He's got 6 cup finals left. He has to go for it.
We are, but you can see that's a very defensive. That team's set up to counter. Do you know what I mean? With the pace, that's why he's put Fredericks in there because of his pace. You've got that counter-attacking pace. As I was saying, I thought if you think the pace of Masuaku going down that left side, we've now got that with Fredericks, and then he offers that cover in behind whoever's playing on the left centre back, which would normally be Ogbonna, but I've got a feeling Ogbonna may start in the middle. Players, he'll be the middle of the three to try and marshal that back line, if you know what I mean, because I don't see Balbuena and Diop doing that job.
Funky Pigeon's having a go at you, Scott. You can't believe Scott talked about easing pressure on West Ham in the same sentence. Mario, falling asleep in Sydney, 2:30 a.m. kickoff, but got to stay loyal. Listen, thank you so much for watching us. at this time in the morning. Great support that. I love that. Love that. I hope West Ham get the win for all of us and all the international hammers out there today.
Exactly.
Mark saying, great show, guys. Come on, you guys. Thank you so much, Mark. Right, Scott, and the chat. I want the chat to get ready because I'm going to blitz these up on the screen as they come through. I want your score predictions. So, Scott, 3, 2, 1. What's your score prediction, mate?
A very, very nervy 1-0 win to us. That's what I'm going for.
I've gone for a very, 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 very tight 2-1 win. So Richard's going 0-0. Oh, they're coming through thick and fast. Jack's going 2-1. MW's going 2-2. Thunder and Joy's going 1-1. Phoebe's going 2-1. John's going 3-2 West Ham. Oh, they're flying through 2-2 with a noble penalty. I can't keep up. Morgan Kent's going 3-2. P. Smith's going 3-0 Chelsea. 2-2. God, Scott, these are flying through. I wish I never said that now. 4-0, 3-0.
Some confident ones there.
I can't keep up. 1-1. Savage Darius is going for 4-0 Chelsea. There's a few going for Chelsea in this, though. I'll take it they're Chelsea fans.
But you can understand why Chelsea.
Listen, if I had that Chelsea team, I'd be confident as well. Phil Brown's taking scruffy jaw, just can't lose. Let's have a look. Liam's going 3-2 West Ham. MG 2801's going 25-0 to Chelsea. I tell you what, if that happens, I'll give you 25 grand. Look at that. Could you imagine if there was 24-0 up with 2 minutes to go? I think I'd be more nervous. But it's there's a look. 3-0 Mark Noble penalty. Desperate for him to score this. Desperate for him to score the season. Needs to get a goal. See, John Sam Ryan, give Claire a shout out. Hello, Claire. Scott, say hello to Claire as well, mate. Give hello, Claire a wave. No, wave. Say hello.
I said hello.
Jacob CFC is going 8-2 Chelsea. You never know. You know, we've seen worse at West Ham. This is more like it. 99-0 to West Ham. And if that happens, Scott will give you 99 grand. But yeah, look, there's a lot of teams. Roy May Jr. Will be painting London in claret and blue tonight, boys. Let's hope so. So look, there's a mixture there. A lot of people, I'd say there was more people edging towards the West Ham win. This is a West Ham channel, so that's going to happen. There's a bit of confidence on there. But how long we got? We've got 2 minutes before we start wrapping up, and then we hand you over to Dan and Nikki in the watch along. So make sure you stay on the channel, head over, and they'll take you through the thrill and spills of the 90 minutes of this massive London derby, the top four clash, the race for the top four. Let's hope that, Scott, we'll be sprinting towards that finish line at the end of this season, mate.
Let's hope so. And Dan is going to be so nervous all through this game.
I hope, because Dan does this thing where he pours the bottle. I hope he's soaking wet today. In fact, I want him to wear armbands and a rubber ring because he's going to be so wet where we're scoring the goal. Oh, that sounded a bit naughty, that, didn't he?
Just a tad.
Yeah, but no, I just hope that we're all talking, and obviously we'll be doing post-match pint after. We'll have fan cams. So, Scott, before we go, mate, your final thoughts, anything you want to say before we go?
Just put in a performance. That's all we ask for. Put in a performance. Don't shy away. Don't go and hide. Come out fighting from the start and fight all the way for the 90 minutes.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. As we've been saying throughout the show, massive game, massive opportunity today for us to get back into the top four, put a bit of pressure on them so-called Big Six, the Snakes, the Super League wannabes, the ones that wanted to slip away. We didn't want to mention the Super League in this show, and we've gone 45 minutes without doing it, but we had to mention it, didn't we? But, yeah, Scott, that's it, mate. We're ready. We're ready for kickoff. 10 minutes to go. So we're going to go. We're going to get ourselves ready. Yous lot are going to now head over to the watch along where Dan and Nikki, I think the link's up. So if not, wait around for 5 minutes and it will be up. But listen, thank you so much for everyone in the chat for joining us today. It's been another great show. Really enjoyed it. I really like this show, Scott. I'm not just saying it because we do it. I actually like it because it's something good because you get to, because we always talk about it after the game, don't we?
Yeah.
We always talk about what's happened and all that. But before the game, it's nice to have a build-up and talk about the two teams and get the stats and the graphics. And I'm really enjoying it.
Joe, I feel more confident when I talk about it. Even though I'm nervous, I build myself up. You know, it's going to be, oh, yeah, we're going to win this now.
I do myself up. I start talking myself into it. I'm like, well, but yeah, no, maybe that's what we need to do more. You know, instead of sitting on our settees waiting for the game, nervous, we come on here and let it all out.
Exactly.
But yeah, look, thank you so much for everyone in the chat for joining us. Make sure you join us after for post-match pint as well. So, Scott, one thing left to say, mate.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.